I would like you to talk about your book first. Okay. I was reading your book and it's amazing. I really like it because it has a lot of information that helps us to know what about the body and how the body can help us to develop another consciousness. So, how this book comes to you?
How did it come to me? That's an interesting question, an interesting story. It's based on Dolores' work. I am Dolores Cannon's daughter. I'm one of them. And I've been helping with the classes that she teaches since their beginning. And gradually, as these messages started coming through of different things that the body, illnesses and symptoms, they mean things. And it would come through and it made sense to me. And so I just attached to it, and I'll explain in a minute what it is. But I started getting the messages, like Dolores said, our abilities are opening up. So I would get these messages that said, you need to write a book about this, you need to do this, you need to do this. And I was like, well, that's her material. And I felt, it's like that, why am I getting this message? So I was trying to see if I could work with her, and she said, no, that's your book, you go write it. And so I'm thinking, wait a minute, she's the writer. So I dealt with a lot of resistance doing this book. And so it went through quite a few years of working through that process and gaining more and more knowledge all the time. She would come back after sessions and she would talk about what different illnesses the subconscious would say they meant. That's when I started putting these pieces together. We started understanding this language that is being used. This is from our higher selves. We came into these bodies without an instruction manual. And we don't know how to communicate with ourselves. This is just a bigger part of ourselves manifesting a personality and experience in this level, in this plane. And so we came in here with no way of communicating. We have to fumble our ways to communicate. This is a way that this part is communicating with us, trying to guide us through this path. So until we have a full-blown instruction manual, I'm saying use this one as it, because we're starting to decipher this language. It's just a way to come through. It uses the body to communicate information. We are with our bodies constantly, so what better mechanism to use? The body is a miraculous machine, and it's created to be perfectly healthy. It's created to heal itself and to never be sick. So with that in mind, we say, why are so many people sick? Why is there so much pain and suffering and all these things? It's because we're all trying to deliver messages to ourselves and we're not listening. When you do not listen, the messages get louder and louder and louder, and they will start progressing into disease processes. So it's a matter of we've got to start understanding these messages. So that's basically, they just kept hitting me over the head saying, you've got to write this book. And after years and years of resistance, I finally got it done. So.
Yeah, and it's nice. It's a nice job. It's really amazing. And, many people in Spanish spoken ask me when the books will be translated to Spanish.
Yes, all of our books we're working, especially Dolores' books. Those are the first ones that we're working on. That is our project right now. I've been getting the messages. The normal process is someone from another country, another publisher from another country approaches you and asks if they can get translation rights, and then they publish a book. That's a nice little process. It's a lengthy process. And that's what's been going on. Nobody with the Spanish speaking, well, we have a little bit with the Spanish speaking from Spain. We've had a few books translated. But it's a slow process. Last year, I was given the message, just translate them yourselves, find people to translate, and just get it out there. So that's what we're in the process of doing. It's going to be a process. You have to understand it's a big project.
Yeah, I know.
So there are a lot of languages, Spanish being a very, very top priority language.
Thanks, okay. Yeah, many people is waiting for that. I was translating the books on YouTube, and when I was translating just two or three parts, people was saying to me, we need your translation. No, you must wait or try to understand English. Otherwise, I will be the translator, and that is not my reason to be here. So
well, and that's been the message for many things. It's like the general message is get her classes. She has an online class now. Dolores does. It's get those classes translated into at least 11 languages and get the books translated. It's like we have to. This is them saying you have to get this out there. People have to get this information. So we are working very hard to do our part in making that happen.
And another thing people is asking is, when Dolores goes to another country, does she do a session or only a class?
She just does a class. Our classes now, though, the way they're structured, everybody breaks off into groups, and so they all do practice sessions. So everybody gets a session and everybody does a session. So this is wonderful because a session with Dolores takes 5, 6, at least hours, and there's no time for that when she's doing a class. There's no time for the energy she has to carve out as well as the time. So this way, everybody's getting the benefit of getting a session to know what that feels like, and then that's why she's teaching. There's only one of her and thousands and thousands and thousands of people that want sessions. So this is how we're bridging that.
Okay, thanks for everything.
You're welcome.
Okay,
Thank
bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.